have swords. You know,
But,
the untrained
yeah.
eye, you'd be like, well, they're both swords, so it should be the same. You're like, no. Even though they have the tools that look almost identical, it's going to be a completely different approach.
And let's see how the players decide to play the matchup. Ginger, of course, one of the students of the game. We saw him at the script do very well against Spaceys. I think he ended up winning the Falco round robin, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, a student of the game is a very, I'd say, adept description of Ginger. He's all about studying. He's all about trying to get just as much of an advantage out of the knowledge of the game that he could get. And right now, he's kicking him.
Yeah, you can see him using those lasers to force a low recovery from Fox, able to take advantage and close out the stock. Ginger up 4 stocks to 3 very early on.
Of course, MikeHaze, we saw him come out guns blazing earlier. He's a really smart, really experienced player. If anything, he's going to adapt. As good as Ginger is, you know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's anything that MikeHaze hasn't seen before. It's just maybe a little bit of a different variation.
Yeah, and you've seen so far part of MikeHaze's MO is he's trying to draw out the preemptive down airs, which is really good for stuffing Fox's approaches. Ty's making motions because he got
kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Falco's fourth match. It's honestly, I like it more than Falcon's D. It's just something about it. Just lunges his whole
like the
body.
train is coming, dude.
Yeah, the choo-choo train. I think Ginger's going to drop his first stock, but you know, again, this is a lead, contrary to popular belief, but Falco, one of the most vulnerable. He's almost like a Guilty Gear Chips enough, where it's just like he has so much, as you're looking at it, he has so much combo and damage potential, but at the same time, he could just die right now. He's a death percent.
Yeah.
So something to constantly think about. Of course, Ginger playing it really safe, keeping himself safe. He has this really interesting ability. This Falco in the right hand can put himself just outside of danger.
Yep. And you have to, because the danger is so real whenever you are in any danger at all.
Yeah.
And you can see, we saw a few times Ginger using these like sort of fadeaway back airs when he is in what would be a dangerous situation, disengage and put out a hitbox that could potentially give him an advantageous state once again. Yeah.
And you can see it there, doing laser forward tilts, laser jabs, really just kind of watching his own back in a sense.
Cool thing about Ginger is, so Falco's, I think, just don't use forward tilt enough. Neither do Fox's. And the reason he switches there is because a forward tilt at this point, at that point of the stock, is probably a KO.
Yeah.
Ginger is one of those players that I say has an evolving tool set, like a dynamic tool set. The things that he's looking for are constantly changing based on position, what's happened in the prior stocks, percentage, just everything. And that's why he's such a strong player in so many matchups, in so many different situations.
And of course, there's general player knowledge, right? He's one of those guys that, wow. And, you know, Ginger's shaking his head a little bit. You know, I'm sure that's not the way he wants it. Ginger's a true competitor. He wants to fight for everything that he gets. He doesn't want anything given to him. But, wow, quick counter pick, going to FD.
We see MikeHaze is really good at the chain grab, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Usually Foxes in general, like, they immediately go to FD, especially if they're against a Falco they feel like is just beating them in the punish game, right? So a lot of times they will counter pick FD, because it's good for Fox because of the chain grab, and the Foxes that are really good at it, they can kind of steal momentum. You know, some Falcos, they just get disheartened. I know Mango used to talk about it a lot. Like, please just kill me. Stop chain grabbing me. Let me jump off, because they feel like they're being wobbled almost.
But it feels like you can get out, but you can't.
Yeah, against somebody who's really good at it. I remember especially just watching players like Leffen and Armada do it. They just never drop it. Almost never.
Yeah, it really does streamline the game. And for someone like MikeHaze, who has a really strong idea of what neutral should be like and how to interact with the other player, simplifying your goal to be something like, let's get the grab, whether it be through a knockdown or a drill or whatever, and then convert very hard, is, I think, a style that really works well for him.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that likes to play a very clean style of melee.
I agree. And speaking of clean right now, this Falco is actually moving like Mr. Clean himself. That was such a precise, that was like a PPMD-esque laser, you know, the full hop and to time the laser just right. And that's going to be it. Wow.
Yeah, Ginger able to finish off another stock. He has the lead once again. It really does feel like he has full control of this set, and it's going to take chain grabs like this to keep MikeHaze in it. Okay, I'm used to seeing an up tilt there. He goes for the dash attack, not quite able to get the tech chase. Ginger back in the middle of the stage. And, you know, we talked about Fox's punish game here. Falco's is really streamlined too, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing about this, and part of the reason why I feel like sometimes it can backfire, which is part of what we're seeing, is that, like you mentioned, Falco, he's no spring chicken.
He's a pheasant.
Exactly. I was hoping that you would go. We're playing teams on commentary right now, but so
another shine. It was gonna look pretty,
but instead he's not dead. Actually, he's still alive.
Calculated.
Yeah, it was all part of his plan, right?
Definitely calculated.
Bait him into SD. All right, nice dash away, setting up for the chain grab. Hopefully he does not drop it this time. He's just going to go ahead for the tech chase follow-up. And misses the dash, but you know what? 14-0, he thought he was out. He's actually still in it. It's all a dream.
MikeHaze has been a little bit slow on a couple of his chain grabs. Looks like he wanted to probably shine grab or something, and that's why he ended up with a...
I seriously doubt laser is what he meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, he shook his head to him.
Yeah.
Gets a shine backer.
I used to call that the NorCal back in the day. It still just kind of feels like the momentum. Obviously, the punish game has been sort of evened up, but it feels like Ginger's just more in control of what's happening. He's dictating, you know, the pace. He's in charge of where they're fighting, how they're fighting, and I would say MikeHaze needs a grab, but I'm not sure. You know, Ginger's gonna let him get it. Nope. Shine back air into a stage spike. True combo.
Yeah, I think when he caught the jump on that last stock, that was definitely critical friend in the game.
So this time, you know, we saw MikeHaze immediately go into the match. This time he takes a sip of water, collects himself. Perhaps what he needs. Loses the shine battle there at the beginning. You know, they were blue lighting at each other.
Sticking to his blazing guns by going back to FD. Gets the grab. He was a little bit slow a couple times. If he can just regain his confidence in this chain grab, I think that's going to be big for him. You see, he doesn't get the jump cancel.
Yeah, that could be crucial. You're basically dropping free damage, you know what I mean?
I mean, it could be the whole stock if you the chain grab. You can really just grab up until up smash, especially when you're later port.
Right now, he finds himself in the edge, in the corner, potentially about to drop yet another stock, and he does.
Yeah, that laser just sniped him out of the sky, and that is the end of the first stock, perhaps, in MikeHaze's last game.
Yeah, once again, this is loser side of top 48, so there is no safe. Sometimes, you know, having a loser's bracket to drop into gives you sort of a safety sense. You're like, well, if it doesn't work out, I'm still in. But not anymore. This is for all the marbles.
Yeah,
wow, that was scary.
Really wants this to be one of his come-out tournaments. I've been saying Pound is the beginning of Smash season, Melee season once again. And a lot of players like MikeHaze looking to make a strong first statement. If he could beat Ginger, that would certainly be one.
Ginger's just moving with more confidence.
He is. And his punishes have more confidence, too. Right now, the chain grab will go on better than it was before.
He misses the back air. I feel like he should have done the drop-down back air, you know? But he'll take it. He's Savory, shaking his head. He's like, Yeah,
catches the slow Firebird stall.
And things are going great for MikeHaze right now. I think that was what he needed.
Okay, the chain grab going once again. Yeah, we see, wow, zoning, and then a little dash dance from Ginger. Unfortunately, gets shine. Yeah, Ginger knows he really had the corner pressure, and he played it very well, and still MikeHaze was able to turn it around. Really creative play from MikeHaze to be able to get that.
Drop the chain guard once again, but he has a second chance at life. See if he can close it out here and, you know, make a set out of this.
Yep, that is one of the trickiest DIs to hit on the chain grab, and you go just a little too far back for the up tilt. You really need to wave dash backwards.
Finish. All right. All right. Mike is in it. You see him nodding his head?
His punish game was more confident, and he knows it, and I was also very impressed at his ability to reverse the situation. There were several times that Ginger had what looked like the more advantageous position, and MikeHaze was able to turn things around and take the game.
Yeah, so now you see Ginger thinking a bit about his counter pick, and it looks like back to Battlefield, maybe?
Yeah, I guess he was probably asking, you want to go back to Battlefield?
We might have asked if he's okay with it. I think MikeHaze is thinking about it. He may say no.
I would say no. I think he said it's fine.
No.
Nope, Yoshi's.
Well, we're going to Yoshi's. Well, I think that
Ginger off to a strong start.
Yeah, I think the way it was sort of an option select, basically. Like, if he didn't want to go back to a tri-platform that was kind of small, then he was going to take them to a smaller tri-plat. So it was like, pick your poison, kind of. And of course, I think Ginger is moving to the East Coast, if he hasn't already.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least that's what I heard last time I talked to him. So perhaps, you know, getting a little bit of the tri-state in his blood already, he wanted to go to the battlefield because, you know.
Battlefield or bust, as they say.
Yeah, but he's moving slick right now.
Yeah, up tilt catches him. A nice anti-air from Ginger. Looks like he's trying a little bit more.
Yeah, he's just really good at stuffing Fox's approaches.
Stuffing is the perfect word. That has been his MO so far this match.
Yeah.
MikeHaze looking to close out the edge guard.
That's going to do it. And it would have done it, but he just said, you know what, come back. Oh, my games.
Yeah, MikeHaze not super happy with it because he could have just finished the stock. Instead, he made things more difficult. Not overcomplicating the game is a huge part to finding consistent success.
Yeah, a lot of extra work there. And that's basically gave him a free back air right there with the little the sky dive. Not sure if that was intentional.
Okay, a little mix-up, wave dashing back onto the top platform. Trading. Yeah, but did put MikeHaze in an advantageous position. He goes for the down tilt. Ginger chooses to block.
All right, I feel like MikeHaze is starting to get it, starting to pick up the pace, starting to kind of understand what Ginger wants to do. And it just feels like he's starting to mess little things up, and it's costing him. He's nodding his head. I think he understands what's happening. I always like the nod over the head shake. The nod, you know, symbolic of I get it, whereas like the head shake is more of a frustration thing.
Forward air, looking for maybe a combo. I guess not the DI he wants. Still able to finish off the stock. Ginger is up. MikeHaze facing down the throws of defeat.
Yeah, this is potentially his last, you know, match of the tournament. And they're boxing. We got Holyfield versus Tyson, except nobody's getting bit just yet. But somebody is getting kicked.
He was waiting for a jump or something, did not get it. Still looks
beautiful
like
spacing on his back air, and that might be the game, and it is. That's the game and the set. Congratulations to Ginger moving on here. Unfortunately, MikeHaze is going to drop out of the tournament.